Awesome Rider Wiki.
Hey YouTube, Awesome Rider here. Welcome to my review for the Power Rangers Beast Morphers Beast Jet Converting Zord. Ordinarily, I would have wanted to cover this with Golds Zord, but I haven't found it yet, and at the risk of holding on to this while I wait maybe a week or more to find it, I decided to just cover him on his own, so it'll be a fairly quick review, but rest assured this guy will also be covered within Golds' review since he combines with it. But let's just take a look at him on his own for now, shall we? And by that, I mean the box. Mainly, I just wanted to draw attention to the cool box art, and look, hello, it's me, hi me. I mean, this box art is just like, hey, look, it's the Beetle Jet, but, and there it is again. There's the Beetle Jet again. But the cool part is the art of the Megazord and the Ultrazord, which I think is super cool. Mainly, I just wanted to point out, in case you're someone that saves boxes or wants to display them, like, you know, on a bookshelf like this or something, they have cool art for that. And on the back, you know, shows 2 modes, thanks, shows the rest in the line, red's up here, there he is. And then, you know, Ultrazord, that's not Ultrazord. Can you read Dawson? Sometimes. Ultrazord and Megazord. So I just wanted to show that off real quick. Now let's get on to the main event. So here I have him in his just regular beetle mode. Look at this scarab beetle, guys. This is in no way a stag beetle. So yeah, that they call it, you know, the Beast Jet and stuff, so they try to avoid that. Like, the scarab works for his helmet, but then you get to this and he has these obvious pincers. So yeah, anyway, overall, I think this guy looks fine. Feel-wise, it has a really strange feel to it that I can't really describe. I mean, I'm going to try to, obviously, because this is a review, but it doesn't feel quite 100% cheap, but it feels like on the way there. Like a midway point between just, this feels like a normal toy, and cheap. And it's got this weird just feel about it. I think detail-wise, it does hit the right points. I don't really have too huge of a problem with it where I'm like, ugh, oh, this is peasant food. Like, why is it food? What am I even talking about? This is a weird review, guys. You should leave. But yeah, but the point is I think it looks fine. It's a decent size. I really don't feel like it was hugely scaled down or is too weird or anything. You know, I think it's just very okay. Like, I'm not jumping out of my seat. Like, guys, go leave this review right now and go buy this. But I'm also not, like, you know, really mad at it. Like, I'm mad at you. Sit in the corner. Again, this is a weird one. I mean, here's obviously what's going to be the helmet there, so you can sort of get a sneak preview for that. Let's take a quick look at it next to its Japanese counterpart in this mode, both, I guess. So you can see sort of the differences there. And this one obviously pops a little bit more. And I'm sure there, you know, there's little details here and there, like especially right here and stuff like that. Like, this is probably the most significant part. But again, it's not something that's making me too mad. I think they hit the core points on this mostly for me. Again, this basically pops. Like, this is the way I kind of see it. 480p, 1080p, or like 480p, like 4K or something. You know, that's kind of the way it looks. It just looks a lot more clear, a lot more shiny. There's this kind of almost matte feel to it where it almost feels like this was this and they just scraped off the new sheen. Like, this is after owning it for a few years. Most of the mechanisms in terms of transformation are the same. The only real note that I thought was worthwhile noting is the way that this works here. So when you have this bit here, the horns come out via a button press. So when you're transforming it, they'll come out like that, and this just simply does not have that. And that's really the only significant difference in the mechanism that was, like I said, worth noting. Let's go ahead and transform it into the jet mode now. Pretty simple transformation. So yeah, there we have the jet mode. It's a very nice and easy one to transform. Very simple, kind of a nice one you can just do while sitting there on the couch or something and just wanting something to transform. And I think it's pretty effective from transforming into 2 different modes that both feel different while also having simple mechanisms that keep it, you know, not too complicated. So you can transform it easy, and you know, I never really feel like, I mean, obviously, if I look hard, I can see the beetle parts, but I never really feel like there's a lot left over. I think it's actually a fairly sleek transformation. It's never been my absolute favorite individual Zord from this series. I'm just kind of okay with it. I think that for whatever reason, even though the primary parts on this one are the same, it seems a little bit more dull to me. Let's compare it again to, here's the Japanese version in its jet mode. You have that same similar feel of just like the clarity to it. And then obviously you can see that the like windshield, for lack of a better word, on the plane is a different color. I think that this stands out a little bit more. This, again, it just looks like it's been doled out. Like, this has just been owned for a few years and it's getting old, so you're starting to wear at the paint. So I think that For the bug mode, I'm just fine with both, even though this looks a little bit better. Or this one, I mean. But something about the plain mode just looks a little bit more dull to me in general. I don't know, maybe it's just me. But that's pretty much it for what you can do with this guy on his own. Like I said, he will be featured in Gold's review, as he can combine with Gold to create their own unique little Megazord formation. And he also is a vital part of transforming into the Ultrazord. So once that review's up, they'll be linked together and you'll see him more in this. But in case I don't find him for a while, I wanted to, you know, cover him. And overall, I think this is a fine Zord. It's not my personal favorite of the bunch. I think it's a little bit dull on a couple levels. I think the quality is very passable. Like I said, I'm not jumping out of my seat for it, but I think if you're interested in it and you can't find a good price for the Japanese version and you're planning on collecting these ones to work together, I can recommend checking it out if you're interested in it. But if you're only picking and choosing, it's not my personal favorite. But, you know, if you're also planning on, spoiler alert, this comes out for the transformation. But obviously, if you're planning on doing stuff like the ultrazord, you're going to need to pick it up. Anyway, that's about it for this one. I just said about it. This is not a Canadian review. That's about it for this one. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell to get notifications for all my videos. Thanks, guys. Dawson Ryder, signing out.